You've heard of unconditional love, but have you heard of the secret to unconditional happiness and allowing more into your life? More wealth, more success, and more love. More freedom in your life right now. Welcome to the Happy Bar with Israel Savage.
Well, I just watched the Hollywood Roundtable that was on this morning. And as I was thinking, I feel like this business is so big, and it's how do you create your own art and create an identity for yourself and get paid acting jobs, or at the same time where it's you also have to have a job to support your acting job. And a lot of the auditions, you would have to take off work or you'd have to fly somewhere. So that was what was on my mind is how do I get to the next step, or how do I make myself a better actress or writer or comedian, someone that people can relate to, that type of thing.
Our greater self knows exactly what we desire. Every time we bump up against those things we don't like, we put into vibrational escrow the things we do like. We clarify desires. Even if we don't know consciously, we've clarified. We've filled in this pattern, this sort of grid for our desires as the picture starts to clarify and get clearer and clearer. And that's what our greater self and our emotional GPS has access to. And so as the physical us is driving around through our lives, our greater self is recalculating. Okay, here's your desire. I'm holding that for you. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to do a thing except listen to my turn-by-turn directions for where you are now. That's all you need. Now, just like driving in a car, when we have someone who feeds us directions, a friend, and this was before the days of GPS, who sits beside us, and you've always got that friend who's like, okay, you're going to turn here, and then in 2 miles, you're going to do this, and then you're going to do this, and whoa, wait a second, I can't remember all that, and I don't need to remember all that. Let's just tell me what I do next. Has anybody ever had that experience with a friend? And so our emotional GPS doesn't do that. Our emotional GPS just looks at where you are and calculates the quickest, easiest, best feeling route from where you are to where you want to be. Holding your desire there, seeing where you are. And so you can't get it wrong because everything is always being recalculated. Even if you decide not to listen to your emotional GPS for a little bit and you are caught in a loop and going in circles, still your emotional GPS is holding that for you. And the answer to your question in terms of when there are so many other people out there doing so many other things, where do I fit in? Where do I fit in when there are so many cars on the road going so many places? Well, imagine if you said to yourself, here I am in my car with my emotional GPS. Here I am. But there are so many other cars on the road, and they're going to so many places, and so many cars are going to the same place that I'm going to. How will I ever get there? Well, you get there the same way that every other person gets to where they're going. You listen to your emotional GPS. You listen to your GPS. Your GPS has nothing, and what's happening in your car has nothing to do with these other cars. Your GPS will get you there despite the traffic, despite the accidents, despite the trees and the mountains and everything else. We start to get overwhelmed when we take our eyes off of our emotions, off of those turn-by-turn directions, and we start to look at what's in front of us. Oh my gosh, you mean I've got to drive 2 days to get there? This may take this long amount of time. This may happen this way. When we take our eyes off And we start to feel as if we have to do something. We have to take some sort of mystical action, and we don't know what that action is. And we start to get worried and concerned that maybe we will never know what that action is, right? And do you see that none of this stuff has happened? All of these worries and this anxiety that we create is because we've taken our attention off of now. Now, there's a lot. You could worry about the turn that you have to take in 20 miles, but there's a lot that you have to get through in order to take that exit that's 20 miles from now. You might have to go over a bridge. You might have to, take a sharp turn in a curve. And by the time you get there and it's time to take that exit, you'll be ready for it. You'll be prepared. Now you're not prepared because there are some things you have to go through, some things that you have to learn if we're talking about your life. And we have two choices. We can either enjoy this unfolding, enjoy the drive, put on some great music, roll down the window, look at the sunset, look at the other cars and just wave and know that they're having their own experience, right? We can either enjoy it, or we can be so caught up in what hasn't happened yet that it's a miserable journey. And as we said several times, and it's a good thing to keep saying because it's still just as true, an unhappy journey will never lead to a happy ending.
If you liked what you just heard, then take inspired action now. That's right, act while you are feeling good. And build on your momentum. Schedule your free discovery call with me at instudios-nyc.com/happybar.